welcome to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Very interesting slate of games we had on this Saturday. We're going to be breaking the slate of games down. We're also going to be looking forward to tomorrow, checking out some point totals, and also taking a different look, approaching the slate a little differently than we have in the past, and I know a lot differently than a lot of the other websites and groups would tell us to approach them. Now, you are live. If you're watching this, we are live from the DFS Sweatshop Facebook page. This video, of course, is going to be available on the website pretty soon. If you are not down with the DFS Sweatshop, please go to www.dfssweatshop.com. There, you will receive your exclusive access to all things NBA DFS right now, particular. Okay. Now, let us go ahead and just go with our regular formatting of the show. We are going to jump into our Core 4 review. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into the feature 4 players. Those are the most talked about, tweeted about guys in the DFS Sweatshop. We're still waiting for the chat in the DFS Sweatshop website to jump off, but that's another thing. So let's go ahead and jump into that Core 4 review. We're going to start with Goran Dragic. He was somebody who I was very high on coming into the slate. I really liked the matchup he had against the Portland perimeter, and he was able to have a really good game. Scored 42.75 DraftKings points. He was 28% owned. A lot of people were on him. So if you didn't have him, it didn't kill you. If it did, it kept you with the rest of the field. The next play is going to be CJ McCollum. Not a very good game from him. He started out kind of slow, evened out during the third quarter, but right around the fourth quarter, he kind of went missing like he does sometimes. He ended up scoring 32 DraftKings points at 11% owned. Now the salary on him was 7K flat, so we needed like 44 DraftKings points, 42 DraftKings points in order to see a really good return on that 7K investment. The next play we had was Gordon Hayward. For some reason, all of the guys in my Core 4 started off very, very slow in the first half. We saw Gordon Hayward finish the game with 40.5 DraftKings points. He was 30% owned, so everybody was on him. He ended up being the industry chalk last night. And to round out the Core 4 was a play that I'm so mad that I missed on, because a lot of times we're in the right, we're going in the right direction. We see something that we want to target. We look at Boston and the rebounding. We say, yo, we want to target Boston's rebounding, but we have to pick the right player. Out of the 3 guys that were going to be banging down low with the Boston defenders, Okafor, Dario Saric, and Richaun Holmes. Richaun Holmes got the least amount of playing time, the least amount of points, and he was the least amount in salary. So sometimes, you take a chance. I'm a tournament player, and that definitely did not pan out. Altogether, the Core 4 for today gets a thumbs down. Not a very good showing for the Core 4 that I rolled out today. And see, the beauty of this is it's not a situation where these are the only, I'm rostering these guys in every lineups. No, that's not it. I had some very successful lineups tonight. It was actually a profitable evening for me, but before I made a lot of other decisions, these are just the 4 guys that I started each lineup with. So they didn't all end up in the actual lineups, all of them, but they did have some kind of inner working with all of the lineups that we created. Now let's go ahead and jump into the feature 4 player of the night. These are the most talked about, tweeted about guys in the sweatshop. Let's go ahead and start right there with the who dat scoring all them points over there player tonight. This is going to be Troy Daniels. He went out at 4% ownership. Very low price point. Ended up scoring 46.5 DraftKings points. An excellent game from Troy Daniels. The how did I miss that play tonight goes out to Dario Saric from the Philadelphia 76ers. And I can tell you how I missed that play tonight. I started Richaun Holmes with his snowflake ass. At 42.75 DraftKings points, he was 2% owned. Very nice showing from Dario Saric. The heat check player tonight usually is gonna go to one of the highest scoring guy, the guy that just scores the most points, and that's not what we always do. It's the value. It's where the price meets the scoring. It's a value situation, and probably the best value of the night when it comes to ownership, when it comes to uh, 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 the how much he scored, everything about this guy tonight was perfect, and that was Nick Batum. 52.5 DraftKings points, only 11% owned. If you had him in your lineups, I'm sure he helped you get to the cash line. And now we get to that one motherfucker. The one motherfucker who fucked up all the lineups. There's always that one. I've got one in particular. Everybody's on fire. I'm talking about a fire line. But then there's that one motherfucker who interrupts the flow. It's fire, 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 fire. Wait up. Ice. With your snowflake ass. Gorgie Jang, tonight, you a motherfucking snowflake. With your snowflake ass. And I ain't gonna roster you again. Now, you beat out a lot of cats for snowflake of the night. This is because you went up against a New York Knicks team that is 16th against power forwards. This is a spot for you to get off. You are in a great place, especially in my lineups. 7% ownership. You go out and you score 22 DraftKings points. Horrible game from Gorgie Jang with your snowflake ass. And I ain't gonna roster your ass again until the next time I see you in the tasty matchup. I think you're gonna go out there and get me a cheap double-double. I'm gonna take a chance on you again. But tonight, out of all the motherfucking snowflakes, you the king snowflake tonight. Snowflake ass motherfucker. Let's move on with the rest of the show. Now, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna jump into a quick recap. We only have a 4-game slate tomorrow. That is a stack slate. I don't care what anybody tells you. Any player pool that you think you might try to develop, it is a stack slate. If you're not stacking, you're not going to be winning. You're not going to be approaching the cash line. Now, there are ways you can pick like a perfect, almost perfect lineup and, you know, make it to the cash line by cherry picking players from different teams. But I'm telling you, the way to get in these tournaments and really make a fuss is to go ahead and stack. Get your stack on. So we've got the stack sheets and correlations. They are going to be uploaded to the website. So if you have that access to the DFSSweatshop.com website, you'll be able to go up and view our stack sheets. They're going to be posted in just a few moments in the Facebook group for you all to review. And I just want to give a shout out to the Facebook group, man. Y'all been holding me down, man. Y'all been here since day one, and I'm very happy to be a part of this thing, man. Thank y'all very much. And to all of the new members that are coming in via the website, man, thank you too. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and jump into a quick recap of last night's games. We're going to start in Brooklyn. Well, we're going to start in Milwaukee, actually, where the Brooklyn Nets came to town. And, you know, we saw a pretty decent game from some of the the Brooklyn Nets players. But Anthony Bennett, bro. Anthony Bennett had 7 points and 14 boards off of the bench. What a nice game from him. At minimum salary, man, he was able to really have a decent game. 1 turnover, 1 assist. A nice game for him at minimum salary. If you had him, you took a chance on him. I know you did pretty well. And shout out to the homie in the DFS Sweatshop Facebook group. Went out and took down a GPP. That's how you do it. I ain't going to shout you out because I know you got a big bag of money and everybody going to be after you, but that's how you do it. The next guy we're going to talk about is going to be Brook Lopez. 13 points for him, a steal and 6 assists to go with 4 rebounds. Not a horrible game from Brook Lopez, but not what you expected when you paid that much in salary for him. Next we have we talking about Sean Kilpatrick had 19 points to go with 3 assists, 1 rebound. Not a very good game from him as well. The leading scorer on the team was Bojan Bogdanovic. He went out and scored 24 points, had 3 assists and 2 rebounds. Pretty nice game from Bojan Bogdanovic. On the Milwaukee Bucks side of the ball, Giannis Antetokounmpo had 16 points to go with 2 steals and 6 assists and 10 rebounds. He flirted with a triple-double. Pretty good game from him. We saw Jabari Parker for 33 minutes. He had 15 points to go with 8 rebounds and 2 assists with a couple steals. How about John Henson, man? This dude has been balling, bro. 20 points for John Henson, 7 boards, 2 assists. Really nice game from him. Not too much else to speak about except maybe we had Matthew Dellavedova. He had 18 points to go with 6 assists and 2 rebounds. Pretty nice game from Matthew Dellavedova. The next game we're going to be getting into is going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves going to Charlotte to take on the Charlotte Hornets. Now, you know, when Kemba's at home, you know I like Kemba. Now, I got tweets all throughout the first half. What's wrong with your boy? Your boy's not playing. Your boy, blah, 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 blah. But he finished having a decent game. I mean, he didn't go nuts, but he had a very decent game. For where he was at, we had a very nice game. We're going to start with Kemba, talk about him. He ended up having 22 points to go with 8 assists and 4 rebounds. Decent game from Kemba. Nicholas Batum, the heat check player tonight, was actually the story of this game, man. 15 points, 12 assists, 8 boards, 3 steals, a block. Nice game from Nicholas Batum, and that's why he was tonight's heat check player of the night. We also saw a comeback of sorts for Frank Kaminsky. He had 21 points to go with 5 assists and 9 boards, one shy of the double-double bonus. MKG had 6 rebounds to go with 15 points. Not a bad game from him, also with an assist. We didn't see much off of the bench. We saw Marco Bellinelli come in and just have 15 points and a turnover. He does nothing else but shoot, but jack up shots. I don't know how long that's going to be lasting for him, especially when Jeremy Lamb comes back and like takes that 6-man role away from him. Now on the Minnesota side, Andrew Wiggins poured in a nice game. He had 29 points, 4 assists and a rebound. Pretty good game from him. Karl Anthony Towns grabbed 15 boards to go with 27 points and kind of made up for that stinker he had last night. Pretty good game from Karl Anthony Towns. We saw Zach LaVine for 43 minutes, and he had 17 points to go with 3 assists and 2 rebounds for him. Ricky Rubio finally had one of those Ricky Rubio games where he almost had a triple-double. He had 7 rebounds, 12 assists, and 9 points. Pretty nice game from Ricky Rubio. Now, that's the funny thing about this Minnesota team, man. When Ricky Rubio is assisting the ball, everybody else gets into the action and everybody else plays better. So that's something to look at going forward. The more he gets into it, the better off the team is going to be. Next game I'm going to get into is going to be the Atlanta Hawks going to the Toronto Raptors. This game was a blowout. We saw a limited amount of minutes from the Atlanta starters. We're going to start with Dwight Howard, man. He had a pretty decent game. Played 27 minutes, grabbed 17 boards, and had 10 points. So he did hit the double-double bonus for us. The next leading scorer on the team is Dennis Schroeder, man. He had 15 points and 6 assists to go with a rebound and 1 turnover. Not a very good game from Dennis Schroeder. Thabo Sefolosha jumped off of the bench and had 8 points and 4 rebounds. And Tim Hardaway Jr. had 15 points to go with 1 assist and 1 rebound for him. Not a very good game from the Atlanta Hawks as a whole. The next team we're going to talk about in the same game was the Toronto Raptors. Now, DeMarre Carroll, after sitting out the other night, came back and he had a very decent game. He had 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. Pretty nice game from him, from where he was. We saw Jonas Valanciunas kind of stink up the joint. He had 2 points to go with 5 rebounds. Not a very good game from him. DeMar DeRozan scored 21 points to go with 4 assists and 3 rebounds. He was in the running to be one of the snowflakes of the night. Not a great game from him. And if you notice, he's come back down to earth, man. That hot shooting is kind of cooled off. It's cooled off a lot, actually. But the one constant on this team is going to be Kyle Lowry. As the point guard, the facilitator, the administrator of the offense, he goes out and has a really good game. 17 points to go with 8 assists and 8 rebounds. He definitely flirted with the triple-double and got some extra run in the 4th quarter when the game was already over. We saw Pat jump off of the bench in 20 minutes and have 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists for him. Terrence Ross got into the action and had 15 points, 2 assists, and a rebound. And that's something about this Raptors team, man. It centers around what Kyle Lowry is doing. The pace, like I always talk about, the pace of the game is oftentimes predicated on the best player on the floor. And tonight, That was Kyle Lowry. It was an up-paced game. It definitely hit the over as far as the scoring went. The next game is going to be the Boston Celtics going to the Philadelphia 76ers. This is a scrappy team, bro. With or without Joel Embiid, this is a scrappy team. I like this team. I like the character of the squad. We're going to start on the Boston side, though, where Jay Crowder played 32 minutes, had 10 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. Not a great game from him. We saw 33 minutes of snowflake action from Al Horford after giving us that big game last night. He went out and scored 11 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds for him. Not a great game. Avery Bradley got back into the mix. He scored 20 points to go with 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Nice game from Avery Bradley. Isaiah Thomas, man, was a story of the game, though. He went nuts. 37 for the boy. 37.7 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal. Good game from Isaiah Thomas. We didn't see much off of the Boston bench. Marcus Smart played 32 minutes, and in those minutes, he only scored 10 points and grabbed 3 boards and had 3 assists. Not a great game from him. On the Philadelphia 76ers side, this is where the how did I miss that play came from. Because, I liked Richaun Holmes going into this, but, man, we saw a pretty good game from Ersan Ilyasova. He had 18 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. We saw a really good game from Gerald Henderson, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists at the price point. I think he was like 3.5K. Nice game from him. Dario Saric off of the bench. He only played 27 minutes, but dude had 21 points, 12 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal. Great game from Dario Saric. If you had him, I knew he carried you very close to the cash line, if not over it. Richaun Holmes, man, in his 10 minutes. So he's officially out of the rotation. If Embiid is not playing and Richaun Holmes get 10 minutes, but Dario Saric gets 27, Ersan Ilyasova gets almost 30, now we know for sure that Richaun Holmes is out of the rotation. And for that, Richaun, you are dead to me. The next, I forgot to tell you about Jahlil Okafor. He had a pretty good game too. 32 minutes for him, had 15 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. Nice game from Jahlil Okafor. Now we know that there's a new rule in the DFS sweatshop, and it's called just play Embiid. So we are waiting. We are salivating for the next time we get to see Joel Embiid on the court. We're gonna play him. We're just gonna play him. Doesn't matter who it is. I don't care who the matchup is against. We're gonna play Joel Embiid. He's just that good. That's a new rule. Sweatshop law. That's law. Now, next game we're going to get into is going to be the LA Lakers going to the Memphis Grizzlies at the Grindhouse. Now, this is a really tough place to play, especially when the strength of your team is on the perimeter. But that was when Mike Conley was there. So now that Mike Conley is not there, we've got to look past the DVP that we may have seen while he was an integral part of their team defense. He's not there anymore. So now we may be able to target the Memphis Grizzlies when it comes to on the perimeter and point guard play, shooting guard play. And we saw that tonight with the LA Lakers, where Sweet Lou Williams jumped off of the bench and in 31 minutes had 40 points. He dropped the 40 and didn't do much of shit else. Had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, couple turnovers, but he dropped 40 points. And that was an excellent DraftKings score for Lou Williams. Timothy Mozgov had 13 points to go with 5 rebounds and 2 assists for him. Luol Deng had 18 points, 5 rebounds. Pretty nice game from him. Julius Randle played 29 minutes and only scored 6 points to go with 6 rebounds and 2 assists. And he was definitely in the running to be one of tonight's snowflakes. On the Memphis Grizzlies side of the ball, we saw a really nice game from JaMychal Green. 34 minutes, he had 16 points to go with 13 boards. Also saw Troy Williams. That was an excellent game from him. That's why he was the who dat scoring all them points over there player tonight. Excuse me, Troy Daniels. I'm sorry. He had 31 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Pretty good game from him. Nice game from Troy Daniels. We didn't see much from anybody else, but Marc Gasol, man, he was somebody who I was on all day. And he fell 2 assists shy of the double-double bonus. He only grabbed 3 rebounds because I guess JaMychal Green were getting them all. But he had 19 points, 3 steals, 8 assists, and 3 rebounds. Nice game from Marc Gasol. Now, we issued out a player pool earlier. And I got to tell you, I looked at the perfect lineup. I looked at the perfect lineup, and I'm telling you, a lot of cats that we had in our player pool, like unconventional plays, guys that you probably wouldn't, think take a second thought to. They were in there, bro. Dario Saric was in there. There's quite a few. Check it out. Quite a few guys are in our player pool, and that's the beauty of being able to release the spreadsheets and the player pools inside the Facebook group and on the website. So come on in. The next game we're getting to is going to be the Chicago Bulls at the Dallas Mavericks. This game was confusing because for all we knew, Chicago was a team in on in ascension, and the Dallas Mavericks were a train wreck that was going bad fast. Well, that's not what this game says. Nikolai Mirotic gets the start for Dwayne Wade in Dwayne Wade's absence. Plays 13 minutes. He only has one personal foul, so what the fuck happened? This dude had 0 points. This dude didn't score one fucking point. He had 5 rebounds. You gotta score a point to be a snowflake. You worse than a snowflake. Yo, bum ass. Taj Gibson in 27 minutes had 11 points to go with 4 rebounds and 1 assist. Pretty average game from him. We saw Robin Lopez for 25 minutes, and he had 15 points to go with 7 rebounds. Jimmy Butler had a decent game, but was not enough, man. He had 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 26 points in his 35 minutes. And Rajon Rondo let a lot of people down, bro. Rajon Rondo let a lot of people down. I wasn't really on him. He was in our player pool, but I just wasn't really on him. I didn't have him. I don't think I had him anywhere in my lineup. So after I came up with the player pool, I dropped the core 4. I started making lineups, and I just couldn't get him anywhere where I really liked him. There was just so many other plays that I liked more than Rajon Rondo. So I didn't have him anywhere. He had 2 points, 5 turnovers, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds in 23 minutes. Not a great game from him. Cannonball jumped off of the bench and had 10 points to go with 3 rebounds and 1 assist and a steal. Pretty nice game from him at that 3K price point. Dallas Mavericks side of the ball, man, that was a different story, man. We saw Harrison Barnes in 37 minutes. He had 22 points to go with 5 rebounds and assists. Pretty nice game from him. Andrew Bogut had 11 points and 11 boards and 8 points. Almost hit the double bonus. Wesley Matthews, he continued his hot shooting. 26 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. Nice game from him. And Darren Williams, man, he dished out 15 dimes. 15 dimes. This was a dude that was like hobbling around in pain because he was so injured, and he goes out and he scores 9 points and drops 15 dimes. Who saw that coming? I was on him. You gotta stay with it. If you got a feeling about a guy, you gotta play him. You gotta stay with it. Dwight Powell in 28 minutes had 17 points and 8 rebounds. Pretty nice game from him at that price point. And I think this team has to know for sure that Dirk is not coming back, or that if Dirk does come back, he's not going to be old Dirk. For them to let go of that shit and really, give Harrison Barnes this team and huddle up around him and kind of let him lead the way. The dude is a winner. Comes from USC, won a championship. UNC won a championship at Golden State. Sure, he's not a world-beating talent, but the dude is a winner. He knows how to win. He's been a part of winning organizations, winning college. So it's his team. Give the man a team. It's over for Dirk. Dirk's done. Next game we're going to get into is going to be the Denver Nuggets going to the Utah Jazz. This game was very close down to the end. Like I said, Gordon Hayward was definitely in danger of flaking out on us in the first half, but he kind of picked it up in that third quarter. We're going to start with the Denver side of the ball. Danilo Gallinari, man, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. I don't know if he's right after that injury, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's right after that injury. We saw Kenneth Faried for 28 minutes. He had 10 points and 6 boards. Not a great game from him. Will Barton jumped back into the mix very early. He had 20 points to go with 4 assists and 5 rebounds. Nice game from him. Didn't see a great game from Emmanuel Mudiay. 12 points, 3 rebounds. Not a great game from him. And Wilson Chandler, man, he jumped off of the bench and played the most amount of minutes out of everybody on the team. Wilson Chandler is a real thing, man. He had 40 minutes, 20 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Pretty nice game from Wilson Chandler. We saw Darrell Arthur for 12 minutes. He's still hurt. I don't know why they're still playing him. Fairly decent game from Jameer Nelson. He had 7 assists and 4 boards to go with his 13 points. On the Utah Jazz side of the ball, now this was weird. Dante Exum gets the start, and he plays 22 minutes. And in those 22 minutes, he scores 10 points, get 2 assists and 2 rebounds. Then we have Gordon Hayward played 36 minutes, and he ends up scoring 32 points, 2 steals, 4 rebounds. Pretty good game from him. Rudy Gobert saw 36 minutes, and he had 11 points, 11 rebounds to go with 7 points. He did not reach that double-double bonus we thought he was going to hit. And Trey Lyles jumped off of the bench and had 12 points to go with 4 rebounds and 1 assist. This Utah team usually is one of the easier teams to predict what they're going to do. But tonight, it was kind of weird. The offense ran a little weirdly when Exum saw that increase in minutes. When Shelvin Mack is in the game running point, or even when George Hill is in the game running point, you know that Gordon Hayward is going to get his shots, and they're going to try to get Gordon Hayward going. But I didn't see Exum really distributing and being a facilitator on the court. So he's not somebody who I think that I can roster with confidence going forward. The next game, excuse me, the on the other side of the ball, the Miami Heat, uh, not a very great game from them. We saw Wayne Ellington for 38 minutes. He had 12 points, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. I wasn't on him at all. Josh McRoberts had 28 minutes and he scored 13 points. But Hassan Whiteside balled the fuck out, man. 28 points, 16 boards, 1 assist, 5 blocks for him. Really nice game from Hassan Whiteside. Rodney McGruder in 38 minutes had 7 points. Not a great game from him. Goran Dragic, who was a part of the core four, had 18 points to go at 5 turnovers, 8 assists, and 9 rebounds. At one point, he was definitely on the triple-double watch. Really good game from Goran Dragic. And we saw Tyler Johnson for 33 minutes. He didn't start shooting hot until the fourth quarter, and he scored a quick 9 points to go at 4 assists and 7 rebounds. Not a bad game from Tyler Johnson. And this Miami team, they're also an enigma. But the one thing we can trust is we can trust we can trust Whiteside, bro. Whiteside is a monster. We can trust Whiteside. Whiteside takes rebounds from his teammates. Like his teammate like, has the ball, and Hassan's like, "No, I'm trying to lead the league in rebounds over here, bro. Like, back the fuck up." And he like snatches everything off of the board, man. He's a really, really great player. On the Trailblazer side of the ball, we saw a really nice game from Maurice Harkless. That is his like fourth good game in a row. 17 points to go with 7 boards, an assist, a steal, and a block. He filled up the stat sheet everywhere. Ed Davis in 26 minutes did not do much. We saw Mason Plumlee score 11 points and 9 rebounds to go with an assist, a steal, and a block. Pretty nice game from him. CJ McCollum, man, part of the core four. Not a great game from him. He did play 33 minutes, but he only had 17 points to go with 4 assists and 4 steals. Dame Lillard, not a great game from him. 19 points to go with 6 assists and 4 rebounds. Allen Crabbe was shooting hot in the fourth quarter, man. He had 16 points to go with 3 rebounds. Pretty nice game from Allen Crabbe. And like on the Trailblazer side of the ball, man, if they don't play well team defense against point guard, shooting guard, so we can definitely roster guys against them and attack them the way I saw that Goran Dragic play. That was a really good game we had there from Goran Dragic. The last game on the slate is going to be the Phoenix Suns traveling to Golden State to take on the Warriors. We all knew this was a blowout. We just wanted to see where we could get some cheap scrub love in there, and we got some from the Phoenix side. We saw Eric Bledsoe. He went ham. Somebody told me to get on Bledsoe, and I just didn't like it. I just didn't like. I was rather take my chances with somebody cheaper. But Bledsoe had a hell of a game, man. 27 points, 5 steals, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Really nice game from Eric Bledsoe. We saw Devin Booker score 21 points to go with 5 assists and 1 rebound. Pretty nice game from him. Marcus Chris played 24 minutes because it was a blowout. He played a lot in the last part of the game. He had 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. PJ Tucker had a fairly decent game, had 9 points to go with 7 boards, 2 assists, and 1 steal. And Alex Len only played 17 minutes and had 5 points to go with 2 assists. Not a great game from him. We saw Brandon Knight off of the bench for 22 minutes, and he had 14 points to go with 2 assists and 1 rebound. on the Golden State side of the ball, it wasn't really worth rostering at the top of the Golden State lineup. Like Kevin Durant, we knew Kevin Durant was going to pay off because they were going to blow the doors off of him. We knew we weren't going to see a ton of Curry. So I hope you all stayed away from those guys. The guys that I like, I loved Klay Thompson. I had him basically everywhere. I had Klay Thompson everywhere. He had a really nice game. In 33 minutes, he led the team in minutes. He had 26 points to go with 3 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals with a block. Really nice game from Klay Thompson. Steph Curry only saw 30 minutes, and he had 31 points, but he didn't do much else. He had 1 steal, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. He didn't have to do much else. Draymond had not a great game, but he had 9 points to go with 3 steals, 13 assists, and 5 rebounds. Pretty decent game from Draymond Green. And we only saw Kevin Durant for the 32 minutes he played. He had 20 points to go with 4 rebounds and 8 assists. Pretty nice game from Kevin Durant. But at that 10.7 salary, we needed a lot more. We needed a lot more. But we had to expect to not get it because this was a blowout. This was a blowout from the door. We saw that. So tomorrow's 4-game slate, we are going to start here in Detroit. The Orlando Magic are traveling to Detroit to take on the Pistons. Now this is a 193.5 point total. This is actually right now the lowest point total we have on the slate. Now what we're doing, we're stacking. On these 4-game slates, we're stacking. So I do have some models of some stacks that we're going to be using, and I would suggest to pick 2 or 3 offenses that you really like. Pick 2 that you really like, and 2 that you really don't like. And the ones you really don't like, the ones you think aren't going to be good, play them, because a lot of times things don't happen the way we play. So on the Orlando side, I like Vucevic to attack the Detroit second team if he's still going to be coming off of the bench, which I think he is. I also like Evan Fournier going at KCP in the starting lineup, and I also like I like DJ Augustine going up against Ish Smith. Now on the other side of the ball, you can definitely roster Ish Smith because that first ranked DVOA to DVP is against when Elfrid Payton, who is a solid on-ball defender, was starting, and now he's coming off the bench. So to start the game, Ish Smith is going to get DJ Augustine. I like Ish Smith in this game. Of course, you can always target Andre Drummond. This is a -7 point total in favor of the Orlando Magic. They're going to be getting 7 points in this game. So Detroit is a home favorite. Now you can stack this thing any way you want. Like I like KCP. I like Tobias Harris, and there is a narrative invested in this game, right? Toby Harris liked the Orlando Magic. He liked that city. He liked that team. He liked the ownership, but he was traded away to the Detroit Pistons. Last time he played him, he torched him. I love Tobias Harris tomorrow. He's probably going to be one of the most owned guys on the slate, so I really like Tobias Harris tomorrow. The next game I'm going to get into is going to be the New Orleans Pelicans going to Oklahoma City. This is probably going to be the most stacked game on the slate. Everybody's going to want to get a piece of Westbrook. This is the only situation that I really feel comfortable rostering him because at 12.8K, and that's a chunk of your salary on DraftKings, and 12.6, that's a lot of your salary on FanDuel. So on some potential stacks, maybe you can go Westbrook, Depot, Grant, or Westbrook, Adams, Cantor, just any kind of fair mix. But when you look at it, I just like the Oklahoma City stack and on this slate, especially on the New Orleans Pelicans side of the ball. There's only 2 guys on the team that are really good when you talk about Jrue Holiday and AD. I think AD is going to have a really good game against them too. But you can also look to Terrence Frazier, Tim Frazier also. That might not be a bad way to go. So and I'm not doing this to give you the picks. The same way I don't give you my core 4 to give you the picks. I'm not trying to give you the picks. I don't want to tell you who to play. I'm just giving you the model, the way to attack the slate that's going to be most beneficial to you. And I really think that we've got the stack tomorrow, especially Anytime we get these 4-game slates, you've got to stack them. The next game is going to be the Sacramento Kings going to the New York Knicks. Now, I forgot to tell you, the Oklahoma City game is a 213-point total, with Oklahoma City being the home favorite. They are giving up 6.5 points. Keep that in mind. On the New York Knicks at home, they are giving up 2.5 to the Sacramento Kings. Boogie, you gotta love Boogie tomorrow. You gotta love Boogie tomorrow. O'Quinn is probably going to be in play for me, especially if Noah is out. O'Quinn is definitely going to be in play. He's going to see a lot of Costa Kufis. I like him in that matchup. Matt Barnes is also going to be another good play. I like Matt Barnes tomorrow too. I like Rudy Gay tomorrow. We know that Melo really doesn't play defense. Neither does Rudy Gay. So these two could just battle it out and shoot it out, especially when you have Porzingis stepping outside and bringing Boogie away from the basket. When guys shoot, Boogie may not be there to collect those rebounds at the normal rate that he would, because you know Porzingis is a special talent. He can draw the big man away from the basket. So I like the rebounding in this game. I think there's gonna be a lot of missed shots and a lot of rebounds. The last game on the slate is going to be the Indiana Pacers going to the LA Clippers. This game is going to be a blowout, whether Paul George plays or not. He is questionable, aka game time decision. If he doesn't play, we're going to see Glenn Robinson III again. I do not like anything about this game. The only thing that I'm thinking is I might get a hold to the coach's son, to Mo Buckets, to Jamal Crawford, or Raymond Felton if he does start the game. On the Indiana side, you might look at Miles Turner a little bit. You may want to check out Jeff Teague if the game kind of blows out and we don't see that much Chris Paul. But that's going to be the game that I have the least amount invested in. So remember, tomorrow's slate, 4 games, small slate. We're going to be stacking the shit out of it. Don't go too heavy. Remember, our bankroll management is key. We invest 10% when we are comfortable. No more than 10% when we are comfortable with the slate of our complete bankroll. If we are uncomfortable, like I'm immediately uncomfortable with a 4-game slate, I am only playing 5%. Those of you, I'm sure you got some NFL stuff going on. Good luck with that. Thank you again, everyone that has been part of this thing from day one, from the YouTube subscriber family to the Facebook family to the new guys that are coming in via the DFS Sweatshop website. Thank you all so much. This is happening. You know what I mean? This is a dream come true. I'm glad we all doing it together. Thank you. And the DFS Sweatshop, you know what we do. You know what we do. We always keep it 300.